Hey there. There's a lot of other shows on YouTube, a lot of other wrestling podcasts, a lot of sites out there that think they're doing what we're doing here on the Sharpshoot, but no, they're not. They're not doing what we're doing at all. This is the Sharpshoot, and it starts right now.
The Sharpshoot with AuSSy is brought to you in part by Talkin' Wrestling Network. Subscribe on YouTube today. And by RopeBreakWrestling.com. Get out of the bleachers and get in the ring with Rope Break.
What's going on, jabronis? This is the Halloween edition of the Sharpshoot with AuSSy. I am your host, AuSSy Ambrose, for the evening. Come on, be honest. It was a pretty good impression, was it not? Look at me. I mean, I look like the lunatic fringe. The hell are you laughing at? Anyways, we've got an awesome show for you guys lined up this week. I know I say that every single week, and every single week you're probably like, wouldn't say it was awesome, but either way, we're going to talk a few different topics that you guys suggested on the Rope Break Wrestling Facebook page. We're going to talk about why Ryback's return rules. We're going to talk about why Randy Orton as a face rules, and we're going to talk about why the Ambrose Wyatt feud rules. Yeah, that's the theme of the show. Rules. But we don't follow them. It's the Sharpshoot. Let's start off with news about Kurt Angle. No angle for Kurt Angle, apparently, as Kurt Angle is getting set to apparently return to TNA. What a waste, as Grim from Grimm's Toy Show would say. Absolutely a waste. Whatever. I mean, obviously Kurt Angle's got to do what he's got to do, and what he feels is best for himself and his family, and that is apparently taking the part-time contract with TNA and making less money, but seeing his family more often. WWE apparently wanted him to work a full-time schedule. His body's just not up to that. And let's face it, he's got to get out for a couple beers here and there. Sorry, I had to take a low blow. Either way, the man that is behind our favorite segment on the show, it's true, Kurt Angle, we would have loved to have seen you come back to WWE where you belong, and we need somebody to take down Rusev. Guess that's going to have to be a job for the big guy. Either way, Kurt Angle not coming back to WWE, or so it seems, and that's upsetting to me. Of course, I want to know what you guys think about it. Do you even give a shit about Kurt Angle not returning? We know you don't give a shit about him, we know you don't give a shit about him going back to TNA, so I won't ask you that question. Do you give a shit about him not coming back to WWE? At I Am AuSSy, at Rope Break Wrestling, at Talkin' Wrestling. Let us know. Use the hashtag Sharpshoot. And, maybe we'll retweet you, maybe we'll follow you back. I don't know, do we do any of that shit? Yeah, we do that shit for sure. More infuriating news out of WWE is that of the elimination of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Now, normally, Elimination Chamber is that pay-per-view, the placeholder between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And to be honest with you, it's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year, not for its name, but for the Elimination Chamber match. Now, it appears that they're not necessarily eliminating the Chamber, just getting rid of that name of the pay-per-view, and that match probably won't happen in between Rumble and WrestleMania from now on. But that's not necessarily what's got me, itching to start screaming at the camera right now. What has me itching to start screaming at the camera right now is the fact that the pay-per-view that is taking the place of Elimination Chamber is supposedly going to be called WWE Fastlane? You gotta be kidding me. What the hell is this, NASCAR? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't buy it. I think it's garbage. It's stupid. It goes with these childish PG garbage Android, iOS app names for a pay-per-view. Just doesn't make sense. I don't like it. I don't buy it. That's all I have to say about it, really. The fact that they're going to take away Elimination Chamber, in between Rumble and WrestleMania is really sad to me, just because I like those three pay-per-views lined up in a row. You've got a meaningful Royal Rumble match, you've got a meaningful Elimination Chamber match, and then of course you've got WrestleMania. Now they're going to throw in a meaningless pay-per-view in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. It's probably just going to be a filler pay-per-view, a battleground style pay-per-view, and I'm not happy about that. I am happy that they're taking the name of the gimmick match off of the pay-per-view, but you can keep the gimmick match in the pay-per-view. The real reason why I think that they're doing this year is because it's possible Brock Lesnar doesn't want to be anywhere near the Elimination Chamber match. I'm not saying that he necessarily would be in the chamber, but maybe they're just trying to move that match. What I'm hearing is that they're trying to move that match to be a build to SummerSlam, a title shot at SummerSlam. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I just am opposed to the names of these pay-per-views lately. It just doesn't make sense. I'd like them to just go back to an older style pay-per-view name, No Way Out, Judgment Day, Armageddon, any of those types, you know. It really doesn't matter to me. It's just the cheesy PG, and like I said, the names sound like, you know, their apps. The apps that they have. Isn't there an app? John Cena's Fastlane or some shit like that? Oh, say it ain't so. Let's move on to the next topic. First of all, before I say anything else, Dean Ambrose, how the hell can you do this with your hair in front of your face like this all the time? This is absolutely ridiculous. I gotta have that flow going. You know how I get the flow going? You don't know how I get the flow going? Go check the old episodes. You see that hair waving. Anyways, the next topic that we've got, the final topic in our news and rumors segment, is that of Roman Reigns and his possible return. Now, we're hearing a lot about Reigns and his potential return going down in between Christmas and New Year's, or around the holiday season, I should say. We're hearing late December, early January. I don't think that they should really give it a date. I don't think we should know a date. I think this needs to be one of those pay-per-views that they don't mess up by announcing the return. I mean, there's only a handful of returns that have been really, really, really good when they were announced prior to the actual return. The only one that really comes to my mind right off the rip is Triple H 2002 Madison Square Garden. Other than that, a lot of the greatest returns have been surprise returns. And you've got a perfect opportunity here with Reigns. Just keep him down just for a little while here. Let people forget about him. Don't bring up these, these via satellite interviews. Don't do all this shit. Work in the dungeon with Reigns. Do a little bit of in-ring work. If he can get back in the ring before the Rumble, try and work some things out with him. Maybe come out with a little bit something different. I'm hoping that he gets maybe a different theme, maybe gets a different outfit. I'm not saying he needs an entire character repackage. I know that sounds like that's what I'm saying, but I think that Roman Reigns needs a new theme song and a new identity for himself as far as his outfit goes. I don't like the Shield song and I don't like the Shield gear. It just tells me that he's clinging and hanging on to the past. And the Shield, when his other two guys have moved on, I think that says a lot about Reigns. I think he needs his own identity, like I said. So if he can return before the Royal Rumble, don't have him return before the Royal Rumble. Just wait it out until the Rumble. Don't tell anybody and make it that much bigger. Remember that John Cena return at the Rumble? Even the John Cena haters can't hate on that return because it's an awesome, it's a historic WWE return. Nobody saw it coming. It happened. It was awesome. That needs to happen again. Roman Reigns, you want to get him over, don't go Batista on him and announce the return prior and get everybody all sorts of pissed off that Roman Reigns is going to return. Just have him come back and beast mode it at at the Royal Rumble match. It's as simple as that. Now, you may have noticed we're missing a few of the segments here, and that's for a real reason. The reason being is it's about Halloween, and I'm going to get some early trick-or-treating in this week, so we're cutting down on some of the segments. No, seriously. What we're doing is we're actually going to open it up to you guys. We got rid of the network picks, and we got rid of the On This Day segments. What I want you guys to do, the viewers of this show, please send me an idea for a new segment. I'm interested to know what you guys think, what you guys want to see, what you think might be funny, might work on the show. Please do me a favor. Tweet me at @AuSSy. Use the hashtag Sharpshoot. Tweet us at Talkin' Wrestling. Tweet us at Rope Break Wrestling. Go on the Facebook page, Rope Break Wrestling. Do whatever you can to let me know how to make this show better. We want 2 new segments. And we're also going to give you that Nick the Cena Fan segment back in the show starting this week. So no more network pick, no more On This Day. I think those segments are a little bit bland compared to the other segments in the show. And let's face it, they just don't cut it, Jack. So I want to know what you guys think. What type of segments should we do here? You guys, you jabronis got any yet? Of course you don't have any ideas. It's true, a segment that's never going to go away like Kurt Angle did. And, I'm still sour about the Kurt Angle not returning thing. I'm sorry. I just want him to beat Rusev. Either way, speaking of Rusev, this next guy here, the surrounding topic about it's true, and this guy comes in. We're talking about Ryback. It's as simple as that. And our question or our topic suggestion comes in from Justin Murphy on Facebook page, on the Rope Break Wrestling Facebook page. Ryback rules. He wants to know if Ryback's return and his face push is going to go noticed here, or if it's going to just kind of sizzle out and fade away like it did before. I can't really answer that, to be perfectly honest with you. I do think that Ryback has potential if he's pushed properly, both as a heel and as a face. I think right now, I hope they keep him in the mid-card for a little while here, but I think he can be a monster heel down the road for a guy like Dean Ambrose, for a guy like Seth Rollins when he makes his eventual face turn, Roman Reigns, whatever. A big dude, that has the charisma to go out there and be a big-time heel. Am I calling him Roddy Piper? No, I'm not. But do I think he's got potential? Yes, I do. Ryback rules, and I think a feud between Ryback and Rusev is best for business. I think it's on the way. I think it's going to happen, and it's going to be awesome. Question is, do you guys think Ryback should be the first person to beat Rusev? Or do you think there should be a little bit more of a wait there? Do you think Rusev should go to WrestleMania? I'm interested to know what you guys think. So comment below and let me know what you think. It's as simple as that. You can go ahead and tweet if you want to, but just leave me a comment here. Let me know, do you think Rusev should be defeated by Ryback? Do you think Ryback deserves that type of a push here? Do you think he's a legitimate contender to beat Rusev? I personally think that match would be really good. Two pretty athletic big guys, really strong guys. And I think that match could be solid and definitely a good way for Ryback to get back in the face hunt here. Because let's face it, you're right, Murphy. His first face turn, or his first face push, really did kind of sizzle out there, and eventually nobody really gave a shit. I think that's because of a lot of poor booking. You remember right after WrestleMania 29, he went up against John Cena. John Cena just continued to shovel that dirt on him. It was pretty sad, but hey, it happened. And Ryback eventually was thrown in there with Curtis Axel, and I don't like to talk about it. But as far as Ryback goes, this current face push, if they book him properly, and that's a popular thing that we say. If they book him properly, he will be successful. Of course, that's what's going to happen. If they book anybody properly, they'll be successful. But Ryback, I think he does rule, and I think that he should be the guy to beat Rusev, and they can have a pretty good feud going forward there. And that's really all I have to say about it. Ryback rules. It's true.
It's damn true.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this segment is bittersweet for me. If you're a fan of RopeBreakWrestling.com, Rope Break Wrestling on Facebook, and you saw the pre-show to our SummerSlam predictions back right before SummerSlam, you saw that this man that I'm about to introduce to you on the show brutally assaulted me with a cookie sheet. Yeah, that's true. It's true, too. It happened. There is video evidence on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube page. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. SummerSlam preview prediction show. But I'm about to let this man back on the sharpshoot for the first time, really, since the show has kind of gained some feet here, gotten some more viewers. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here's Nick the Cena Fan.
Cena sucks. How do you figure? He's got Nikki Bella. You've only got 5 fingers.
Around the Point returns this Sunday to the Talkin' Wrestling Network live at 10 p.m. Watch as Connor and Will take your calls live with special guests Frank Manzo and Botchamania's Matthew Gregg. You don't want to miss the return episode of Around the Point on TRN. Don't tell me you're still paying an undisclosed amount to watch Raw Backstage Pass every single Monday night. Where you need to be is where it's free, and it's on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube page every single Monday night after Raw. Rope Break React after Raw. Watch as Alec Kozubski hosts an hour-long, uncensored reaction show to Monday Night Raw. These guys hold nothing back, and hell, to be honest with you, once in a while, I jump on the show myself. It's the only place to be after Raw. It's Rope Break React after Raw.
I'll tell you what, this is my regular hair here, and honestly, this feels like a wig. This is ridiculous, Ambrose. I know you're thinning. Your hair is not, as beautiful and luscious and as full as mine, but this is just outrageous. I don't know how you do this. Like, I need somebody to be in here with a squirt bottle to squirt my face at all times. Don't get the squirt bottle. Seriously, put the damn squirt bottle down. Anyways, Nick the Cena Fan, thanks for coming back to the show, man. We're great to have you. It's great to have you back on the show. As long as you're not hitting me with any baking utensils, I think we'll be solid here on the show. Now it's time for the next segment of the show. It's How Do You Like Me Now?
How do you like me now?
Did you see in the video, we had a little spot there, said Orton, is underused. Yes, that's what we're talking about in this week's How Do You Like Me Now segment. The topic was submitted by Matt RKO Johnson, and Johannes Butel actually mentioned it a few weeks back that he was interested to know why I think Orton's underused. Matt RKO Johnson wants to know what I think about Randy Orton's face turn, and it's clear, based on that, the screen name or the Facebook name, Matt RKO Johnson, he must like Randy Orton. I like Randy Orton, and I personally feel like Randy Orton has been underutilized and has been underappreciated for the past several years. And I know that Randy Orton has had some demons of his own, and, the haters will hate, and people will say, Orton hasn't been underused. What are you talking about? He's been in the main event several times. Him and Cena back and forth, so many world titles, so many chances. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, Randy Orton is an excellent character on Monday Night Raw. He's very versatile. He has different characters that he can play, and all successfully. Now, what I want to talk about on this week's show is his current character that he basically just re-debuted this past Monday night on Raw. And that is that slithering, neutral, Viper-style character. He just doesn't give a shit. He's going to do what he wants, and it doesn't matter what the authority thinks or what any of the fans think. It's just him, Randy Orton. He is a single. And that is the Randy Orton that we need to see at all times. We saw the almost return of the punt at Hell in a Cell. We saw him with the RKO on Seth Rollins. They're supposed to be authority mates. Randy Orton cut that promo on Monday Night Raw. It was some of his best work since he's come into WWE. And I really am not, in agreement with the people out there that have no love for Randy Orton. I understand that he's the favorite of the soccer moms. A lot of people watch him just because he's hot and whatnot. And, a lot of people watch this show just because I'm hot. And I understand. You might hate me. You might hate Randy Orton because of it. But let's be honest with you. That promo that Randy Orton cut on Monday Night Raw was the stuff of legend. That was amore, honestly. It was beautiful. It was great to listen to. And you know why I loved it so much? Randy Orton immediately sold me on his character. And that is what it's all about in the WWE. When you can sit there and you're listening to somebody talk and you're actually believing the words that are coming out of your mouth. There's a brief moment where you're actually not consciously thinking, this is fake, this is stupid, this is worked, this is bullshit. Like you are for many of John Cena's promos. Sorry, Nick the Cena Fan. That's really what you're thinking for a lot of Cena's promos. When he comes out and he says, for 12 years I've been here. I've always been here. Blah, 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 blah. Randy Orton comes out, and when he's talking, it feels like that is Randy Orton. That is how he is when he's on the street, when he's at home, when he's at home in his bed with his girlfriend. He gets her pregnant because he came out of nowhere. Yes. If you got the joke, you got the joke. If you didn't, time has passed. Either way, Randy Orton, excellent promo on Raw. I mean, I'm just pretty much saying the same old shit over and over here, but you kind of get the sense of why I think Randy Orton has been underappreciated all these years, because a lot of people don't really care. You don't hear a lot of people say Randy Orton is their favorite wrestler. You get a lot of John Cena's, you get a lot of CM Punk's, you get a lot of Daniel Bryan's. Randy Orton is that guy that has been left out, but he's always been there, and he's always been in really good storylines. You think back to that WrestleMania 25 storyline with Triple H going into Orton's house, all that stuff. That is excellent stories. Randy Orton is an excellent character on the show. He does a great job of making you believe what he's doing, what he's saying. He actually feels that way. That was the way you felt with guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, The Rock. Not just to reference Attitude Era guys, but you thought that those guys were in the moment. Everything that they said, that they did, they felt it. All their senses were tingling at that moment. A guy like Hogan, a guy like Cena, not so much. You don't buy their Looney Tune garbage. That's really, the gist of it. So as far as Randy Orton and his current face turn goes, Matt RKO Johnson, I'm digging it right now. I hope they continue to go with this, off the beaten path. Orton's kind of a loner. He does what he wants. That's the type of Orton I like. I don't like the Orton that's coming out and doing shit specifically to get cheap pops. Playing into the soccer mom crowd, being cheesy like he was, post WrestleMania 29-ish. I don't like that. I want to see Randy Orton as a legitimate face. But when I say face, I don't mean an ass kisser. I don't mean somebody that's looking for cheap pops at all times. Just Randy Orton, the Viper. I mean, is there really anything more to say? Matt, RKO Johnson, let me know. What do you think about Randy Orton's current face turn? What do all of you guys think about the face turn? Do you think it's going to work out, or do you think we're going to get a stale version of Randy Orton like we did around WrestleMania 29, where he's in 6-man tag matches with face Ryback and face Sheamus and all this bullshit, Big Show, whatever, whoever it is, whatever it is. When Randy Orton is at his best is when he's a loner and he's doing his own thing, and that's really all I have to say about that. So, Randy Orton haters, how do you like me now?
How do you like me now?
Yes. It's almost time for so long, but we'll shoot just one more topic. It's this week's Sharpshoot of the Week, and it comes from Lewis Lane Jr. on Facebook. Of course, Rope Break Wrestling's Facebook page. If you don't like it, what the hell are you doing, jabroni? Please, open another tab while you listen to me talk some random bullshit here for the next couple of minutes, and go like the Facebook page immediately. If you don't already like Talking Wrestling's page, go like their page as well. If you don't follow us on Twitter at Rope Break Wrestling, go follow us on Twitter at Rope Break Wrestling, at I Am AuSSy, at Talking Wrestling. It's all right here in front of you, jabronis. Get it done. There's no excuses. If you're watching this, you should be subscribed to both channels. You should be following both Twitter accounts. You should be liking both Facebook pages. It's really that simple, jabronis. It's simple math. It's simple math. And like my friend Matt Donato would say, if you're not telling your friends about this show and about RopeBreakWrestling.com, then you're just not a good friend. You're not a good friend, Sethy Poo. Either way, off the Halloween act. It's this week's Sharpshoot, and it comes from Lewis Lane Jr. He wants to know about my character for tonight, Dean Ambrose, and Bray Wyatt's impending feud. He wants to know what the deal is. Is it going to be good? Does it need to be worked on? What's the deal with it? A lot of people are really unsure about this Dean Ambrose Bray Wyatt feud, and really Bray Wyatt didn't make much light of it with his promo on Monday night. A lot of mixed reviews on that promo. Some people didn't like it. Some people thought it was an A+. Even mixed reviews on the Rope Break Wrestling Facebook page. So to be perfectly honest with you, as far as I'm concerned, I thought the promo was okay. I think it did what it needed to do, and I think you want to hear a little bit more from Bray Wyatt next week, and I think that is the goal and the purpose of the promo. I also think that we will hear more from Bray Wyatt on next Monday night's Raw, And I think the same for Dean Ambrose. Now, Bray Wyatt was kind of making it out to be like, hey, Dean, we're similar. We're the same person. We both, hate the same things, all that type of shit. We've been wronged by the same people. But a lot of people are then asking, well, then why did you attack Dean Ambrose? And I think we will find out in time. I am hoping, to be honest with you, that this feud runs, until the Royal Rumble. I don't know. A lot of people want to see this feud go into WrestleMania. I still want to see Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania. I feel like we were shorted at Hell in a Cell just a little bit. Thought the match lived up to expectations. I just feel like we haven't gotten a good close to that story, and I think that is a WrestleMania feud for sure, but that remains to be seen. As far as the feud between Ambrose and Wyatt goes, I think there's definitely a lot of good mic work and in-ring wrestling, to be had in this feud. I'm just kind of unsure about the actual matchup, whether these two guys will have great chemistry in the ring or not. There's no doubt there's going to be some excellent promos cut, and I think that WWE is making a good booking decision by doing this feud, because Bray Wyatt was supposed to be a heel when he came in, but people just thought the guy was such a badass that he was immediately, turned face by the crowd. Now, Wyatt is out for a little while, and they want to bring him back as a strong heel. What do? You have him go after the #1 face in the company at the time, which is Dean Ambrose. So that's what they did. That's the reasoning behind this feud here. You want to see Bray Wyatt get over as a strong heel. They really don't have many strong heels right now. They've got the Authority with Seth Rollins, but as far as Kane goes, he's really nothing much in the ring. Triple H is obviously not wrestling. Randy Orton just turned face. So Seth Rollins is your one main strong heel, since they're not really building Cesaro that much. And, I think Bray Wyatt is going to do his job as a heel in this feud. I'm really interested to see where it goes from here. I'm not 100% sold on it right this second, but I'm willing to give it a chance, and I hope you guys are willing to give it a chance too. You got to be open-minded. Not everything is going to be perfect right off the get, but I think this is probably a couple pay-per-view feud, and I think it will end up working out in the end. I'm not saying it's going to be an all-time great feud, but it could end up being like a Shawn Michaels Undertaker style feud. I think it could be really good given the promos, and both guys can definitely do work in the ring. So that remains to be seen. Louis Lane Jr., really interested, obviously, to know what you think. I'm always interested to know what the person that suggests the topic thinks. What do you think about the feud? Do you think it's going to succeed, or do you think it's going to kind of fade away into oblivion? So let me know, and everybody let me know. Once again, you can always tweet using the hashtag #sharpshoot to let me know what you think, whether it be about the topics or about the show itself. What do you think we can improve on? Remember, I've got those two segments that we're looking for. We're looking for 2 segments. If you can give us those segments, we will obviously shout you out, and maybe we'll do a little bit something different for you guys too. If we can get a giveaway, I'll talk to upper management at Rope Break and Talking Wrestling. Maybe we can give something away to each of those people that come up with the 2 best segment suggestions. So definitely do your homework there. Submit me something. Use the hashtag #sharpshoot. Follow those accounts. Like those pages. Subscribe to the YouTube accounts. Do what you gotta do to get it done. Who knows? You could be on this show soon. We got something in the works. I'm not necessarily going to tell you right off the rip. I also am interested to know who you guys are dressing up for WWE related wise for Halloween. Obviously, I did the Ambrose get up here. My hair's starting to dry out. I'm turning face by the second here. But I'm interested to know what you guys or who you guys are going for Halloween. So tweet me your pictures using the hashtag #sharpshoot as well, and we will retweet your photos. We will share them on the Facebook page. We will follow you. We will do everything that we need to do to get that relationship going. So once again, get with us on social media. The message is pretty simple. And again, check out Around the Point on Talking Wrestling this Sunday night, 10 p.m., the return episode. It's definitely going to be much better than what you guys saw in that first rendition of the show. And check out all the shows on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube page, and of course Talking Wrestling's YouTube page as well. Keep the lookout for new content all the time. It's happening all around you. Get it done. But for now, it's time to tap out to the Sharpshoot for this week. I am once again your host, AuSSy, and until next week, we'll see you later. It's been the Sharpshoot.
The Sharpshoot with AuSSy is brought to you in part by Talkin' Wrestling Network. Subscribe on YouTube today. And by RopeBreakWrestling.com. Get out of the bleachers and get in the ring with Rope Break.